When we think about the African nations, the first thing that pops up in our mind would be a poverty. For the reality, most of the African countries has a GDP per capita less than $5,000. That would mean the average annual income of a whole population is between $4,000 to $5,000. However, there is always 2080 theory exists. Even in African countries, there are few people who has a tremendous wealth. Today we will look at the richest guy in Africa, Aliko Dangote. Dangote was born in 1957 in Kano, where was popular for trading in Nigeria. His grandfather, father, and mother all made a lot of money while doing trade business. So, Dangote's childhood was not lacking, but he left his father at the age of 9. From this, Dangote was raised by his grandfather. Compared to his wealthy family, he had been raised with an allowance equal to that of his friends. However, because he inherited the entire DNA of business from his dad, he showed a unique aspect from a young age. He collects his pocket money and buys a large amount of candy, and he bargains for a discount. And he started to sell the candies to his friends with the margins on it. Dangote, who has learned the distribution and margin structure himself, which is not to be learned in elementary school, has a hobby of making profits from the allowances from his grandfather. Even, Dangote was good at studying. He graduated from middle and high school with great scores. He would like to study business in college, but he could not find the one that he wanted to get in. So, he spent the money that he saved from his grandfather and flew to Egypt for studying business and came back to Nigeria after graduation. Right after he came back home, he borrowed $3,000 from his uncle and opened a trading company which imported the rice, sugar, etc. When we think about the late of 1970s in Africa, $3,000 was not a small amount of the money. Does he really have a business blood, or his studying in college help? He paid back to his uncle within 3 months and started to make a profitable business. He believes himself that he got a gift for business and made his mind to move on to bigger city for his business. And he moved to Lagos, where the most populated city in Africa at that time. After arrived at Lagos, Dangote found out that the city is moving so fast for construction of buildings. Nigeria is an oil-producing country, and the country was having a construction booming at that time. Accordingly, Dangote thought that the demand for cement, an essential element for building, will increase, and he decided to bet everything he has on this. He ran to his grandfather to borrow the money. Dangote borrowed 500,000 naira. This was the same amount that he could purchase 10 Mercedes. He established Dangote Cement and started importing the cement, and it got skyrocket. At that time there is no manufacturer for cement in Nigeria. So, construction companies began to rely on Dangote's importing ability, and in 6 months, Dangote built his wealth to pay his grandfather in full. He became to be called the King of Cement and becomes one of Nigeria's richest people. But he was not satisfied with this. As soon as he made the money, he aggressively invested in other business area. His business expanded to groceries like sugar, flour, salt and finance, oil, real estate, transportation, natural gas, telecommunication, and steels. He almost built his own kingdom, that enough to monopolize a country. Even his company's name has been upgraded from Dangote Cement to Dangote Group. Most of his business has been successful, and Dangote finally became a richest entrepreneur among the African countries that stamped by Forbes. Nigeria was Africa's largest population with nearly 200 million people. At the time, almost all goods were dependent on imports. However, Dangote made it happen to produce basic food products in domestic, including cement, while simultaneously solving the problem of providing jobs for the people and food. This process has become a driving force for growth in Nigeria, a young country whose national average age is only 18. Thanks to Dangote, the image of Nigeria has made a better life, making him one of the most respected entrepreneurs of the Nigerian people. So, what is the wealth of Dangote, the richest man in Africa? His wealth is about $8.4 billion. Dangote Group makes close to $5 billion annual revenue. His company exports the cement to neighborhood countries and makes around $3 billion revenue, which is 60% of whole group revenue. So, it is said that most of African buildings are made of Dangote cement. In addition, Dangote's market cap of listed companies is 1/3 of the Nigerian stock market. As he has so much money, he sometimes withdraws $10 million from the bank, moves it to his room, looks at it, and returns it to the bank the next day. For this kind of behavior, he said he did it to keep his head real money, not numbers written on paper. Also, Dangote is known as huge football fan. He puts 5,000 United States dollars per goal to Nigerian national team when they were not performing well. Dangote recently announced the acquisition of Arsenal, the English Premier League football team. Aiming to take over in 2021, he is expected to bet about $1 billion. Arsenal fans, who are dissatisfied with the current owner, are known to have tremendous expectations for Dangote's announcement of the takeover. Dangote currently lives in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. His mansion shows an interior worthy of a man called the King of Africa. The Nigerian president and Bill Gates once stopped by to have a meal in this mansion. This mansion includes a luxurious lobby for VIP customers, long table for over 20 seats and chef kitchen in dining room. Also, there is a large home office in the mansion. He emphasized that a proper home office is essential to increase productivity. The bedroom and toilet are also finished with the finest finishes you'll find in a 6-star hotel. The price of this mansion is known to be about $30 million. When you see Dangote's car collection, you can see his luxurious taste. First, he owns Bentley's flagship sedan, Mulsanne. His luxury car, which boasts a comfortable ride like a first-class seat, costs $450,000. He also owns Maybach. The Maybach 57S, owned by him, is a model touched by Night Luxury, a Miami-based tuning company for the top 1% rich people. The safety is emphasized by replacing the exterior with carbon fiber reinforced plastic. And the engine, exhaust and intake were all replaced to change the horsepower from 567 to 712. The price of this car is $700,000 for the Maybach 57S. It is said that it cost $1.7 million by adding $1 million to the tuning cost. He also owns Bugatti Veyron, which is also called hypercar. With a top speed of 467 kilometers and 0 to 60 within 1.8 seconds, Veyron is one of the fastest monsters in the world. The price of this car is about $2 million. He also bought an airplane as a small gift for him on his 53rd birthday. The model he bought is Bombardier Global Express. Designed for businessmen, this model is a business plane that can carry up to 8 people. It is said that the cost of purchasing his small birthday present is $54 million. In addition, he is the king of donation, acknowledged by many people. He founded the Aliko Dangote Foundation, sponsoring more than $100 million each year. Taking the lead in eradicating poverty and disease and building schools and hospitals, he has supported over $1.5 billion to date. This was followed by Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, J.K. Rowling, Oprah Winfrey, and Elon Musk. It is known as the 6th largest funding amount in the world. In fact, Dangote has said that he wants to be called world's best donor rather than the title of Africa's richest man. Can he really become a best donor in the world while he is the richest man in Africa? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this clip, subscribe and get notified for more interesting videos.